Hello, my name is April Gordon, and this is the first of the Lotus Talks. Now, this is not how I intended to record my first Lotus Talk. My hair isn't perfect, my skin isn't perfect, the location in which I'm sitting is absolutely not perfect. But I felt compelled at this moment in time to share a story with you. In order for me to really help you understand what Lotus Talks are, I need to first help you understand the lotus. The lotus is a beautiful flower that is buried under the murky waters. In order to bloom and share its full beauty, it has to struggle from the bottom of the waters all the way to the top of the surface. The lotus flower only blooms in perfect, beautiful sunlight. And so the lotus flower is representative of the woman of color. The lotus in lotus flowers stands for leveraging our talents and unique stories for lifelong opportunity, worthwhile endeavors, and responsible stewardship. The Lotus Talks platform exists as a safe and sacred space for women of color to share their stories with the world. And so I'm going to tell you why I believe that these stories and these talks matter. Now, today was a very unique day, and that's why I'm in the car talking to you right now, because I'm just so overwhelmed by the magnitude of what just happened. I was on my way driving to a community resource center when I kept being pulled to Starbucks. Now, I love coffee like the rest of us, and I have a great experience at this particular Starbucks because of the management at that Starbucks. There's just a phenomenal man who runs this particular Starbucks, and he always greets everyone with kindness and joy in his heart. And so I like to go to Starbucks, and I like to run into Cam, but that's not why I was there. As I began to walk into the Starbucks, I decided to put my earbuds in and to listen to a recording that I had recorded in 2021. Now, I don't typically wear the earbuds, and I don't typically go back and listen to old recordings, but again, something was compelling me to do this. Yesterday, I had the honor of going to lunch with a woman named Laquita Cyprian. Laquita is with Agility Bank, and we were talking about abundance and talking about opportunity, and I was sharing information with her about the new organization, nonprofit, the Lotus Flowers. So this was lunch yesterday. Today, as I'm walking into the Starbucks and listening to my recording, I hear Laquita's name. 2 years ago, I had talked about what I intended to do, the vision that God had given me, and how I was going to be an incubator of businesses to help women of color build upon their dreams, start their businesses, and share their voice. Sound familiar? Lotus flowers. But in the middle of this conversation, in the middle of this video, I'm saying that I'm going to do this in part with Laquita Cyprian. So I'm blown away. I immediately sent her a text message and say, Laquita, I'm listening to a recording from 2 years ago, and it's basically telling me what we're going to do together in the future. Now, we hadn't agreed to any of these things yesterday, but here it was. My recording of it and listening to a story I had created and told 2 years ago was right there before me. So that's great. That's fine. I'm excited. I turn and I see two beautiful women of color sitting at the table, two African American women. And I see on the woman's shirt the words Workforce Initiative. Well, I'm starting a nonprofit, right? And I see the word initiative. So what does that mean? Oh, you need to go and introduce yourself. So as I go to the table, I say, excuse me, ladies, I hate to interrupt you, but I see the words Workforce Initiative on your shirt. Can you tell me a little bit more about what you do? Because That's who I am. I've never met a stranger. So the lady proceeds to tell me that they're pharmacy techs with CVS Health and they are responsible for community initiatives. Well, ears, like, okay. I'm going, this is why I'm supposed to talk to you, because your shirt says initiative and you're responsible for community initiatives. And let me help you understand that social justice and community initiatives around health and health disparity is so important to us. I think we need to talk. But it's something about connecting on a deeper level and really understanding who a person is and where they come from. That's important. It's the purpose of Lotus Talks is not just to tell the story. It's for people to really understand and connect with who you are and your experiences. So as part of our discussion, I said, well, tell me a little bit more about you and where are you from? And as we get into the conversation, she says that she's from Crosby, Texas, and guess where I'm from? I'm from Crosby, Texas. And I said, well, you know what? My first job was at Eckert's Pharmacy. And she says, well, my first job was at Eckert's Pharmacy. I said, well, you wouldn't have to have worked for Richard Broussard, have you? She said, my first boss was Richard Broussard. Well, guess who my first boss was? Richard Broussard. It was in that moment that I came to understand that we are all connected. If we will listen to the stories of our sisters, if we will ask the next question, we will understand that we are all bound together. I don't know where this relationship is going, but I know that it's going somewhere. I know that Lotus Talks as a global platform is going to provide a safe and sacred space for women of the world to tell their stories to the world so that the world will listen, better understand who we are, what we've been through, and help us to get where we are going, because we are all connected. And when we understand the story of the lotus, we understand why the lotus is so beautiful and all that she has to offer to the world. This is my first lotus story. I hope that you will be inspired and confident enough to share your story. I believe that the world is ready to listen to us, to learn about us, and to begin to love and cherish us. I look forward to hearing your stories, sharing your stories, and getting to know you through your story.